What's up all my devil dogs? It's your boy Sean Otley, Strength Corps 5-star General. I hope you enjoyed a couple of training clips. I'm actually just getting back from the gym. I hit some delts and arms today like you saw. Showed you guys my 3 big compound movements. I might actually, when I do that diet update that I'm gonna still do for you guys, but let's be real, the votes came in and overwhelmingly, I mean through Snapchat and through Facebook, people wanted to know lean bulk versus dirty bulk. I don't know why you guys are interested in that, but that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do for you guys. So pretty much let me go ahead and detail it because I've done both, and that's why I feel like I'm a good example of somebody who can actually shed some light on a lean versus a dirty bulk. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna define a lean bulk, define a dirty bulk, and then give you the pros and cons of each, okay? Make it real simple for you guys. All right, we're gonna start with, drum roll please, the dirty bulk. Okay, so with a dirty bulk, I've done that. I'll actually show you guys pictures. So my first dirty bulk, I went from 185 right here on this picture. Then I proceeded to go to about, I think around 195. I gained about 10 pounds. That was over the course of about 6 months. I actually started off kind of a lean bulk. Then I met my boy Rolly, if you guys remember him from some of my old videos, and he was dirty bulking. So for the last 5 months of my bulk, I dirty bulked and turned into this. Alright, so I was a fat boy, 230 pounds. That was the heaviest I've ever been. I've never crossed that threshold ever again. 225.6 was the closest I got at the end of this last bulk, which wasn't a dirty bulk. It's just that it's years later and I can hold more muscle now and more weight now, but that's for a whole nother video. So let's talk about the pros of a dirty bulk. So some pros of a dirty bulk are this: when you're dirty bulking, you don't have to really worry about tracking calories. You're just trying to get in as much food as possible. Doesn't really matter where you're getting it from, as long as you're getting a good amount of protein in each meal. It's carbs and fats galore. You don't have to worry about, oh, I'm gonna have this much rice or this much beans or this much chicken. You just put whatever on your plate that you can stomach, pretty much, and you just get it how you live it. So that's one pro. If you're really a big eater like me, then you can eat whatever you want. The second pro of a dirty bulk is that you're going to gain the most amount of muscle possible. When you're dirty bulking, pretty much, or when you're bulking in general, you've got a muscle threshold, right? And sometimes when you lean bulk, you gain less muscle here just to prevent gaining the fat. But when you're dirty bulking, you're gonna make sure that you hit that maximum amount. Now you're probably gonna go over and gain some fat. See that? That right there, that little space, that's fat. But you're gonna gain the most amount of muscle possible. So that's another pro of dirty bulking. You're gonna make sure that you make maximum gains, okay? The third pro I could think of for a dirty bulk is that it's a lot easier to incorporate into any lifestyle, because when you're dirty bulking, as long as you're training hard still, you're pretty much just living life like everybody else. You're eating whatever. When you go out to eat with your family, you don't have to worry about counting anything. You don't have to worry about, oh, I'm gonna make this a cheat meal. It's just another meal for it, okay? So, I mean, that kind of ties in with number one, but it's a very easy lifestyle to live because you never have to worry about, you know, oh, I already have my cheat meal, or, oh, I have this amount of macros left. You don't ever have to worry about that. Now, let's go into the cons of dirty bulking. A con of dirty bulking is this: you're gonna get fat, okay? There's no way around it. You're gonna get fat. And if you're somebody who really is trying to build a physique that's impressive, yes, you might put on more muscle, but it's gonna come at the cost of putting on way more fat than you have to. Most people, when they dirty bulk and they decide to just go all in, they just get really fat. I mean, they don't even like sort of dirty bulk, they just go all in 100%. I know I damn sure did. And that can really mess up your physique, man. You work so hard for this physique and you get fat. Even on my last bulk, it wasn't supposed to be a dirty bulk and I looked fat in those pictures, okay? Another con of dirty bulking is the fact that it's going to make dieting way, way harder. Do you know how hard it is to go from eating whatever you want, how much of you want, to now you got to eat a certain amount of carbs, certain amount of fat, certain amount of protein, and you can't just get it how you live it anymore? And on top of that, you're going to have to diet longer. So that's a 2-for-1. That's 2 cons in one. One, your discipline is going to have to completely change, and 2, you're going to have to diet way longer, because of the fact that you're gonna put on way more fat than you have to, and that's gonna add weeks on to the length of your diet when you decide to diet. If you decide to diet, some people just bulk for life and they just want to be swole life, you know what I mean? So I mean, if that's your thing, then go ahead. Those are my 3 pros and 3 cons for the dirty bulk. Now, let's get into the lean bulk. Now, when we're talking about lean bulking, pretty much what that is you're going to go ahead and increase your calories, but you're still going to maintain some type of discipline and follow some type of structured diet plan. So whether it's macros, you have a diet plan that you follow, you're still going to be eating a certain amount of food, just enough to increase muscle, but try and taper back on the fat gain. Now, let's go to pro number 1 of a lean bulk. And I'm going to go ahead and say that a pro, obviously, is the fact that you can bulk longer. When you're lean bulking, because you're not gaining weight at such a rapid pace, and everybody has their breaking point, okay? Everybody has that weight where when you reach it, it's done. You just can't bulk anymore. You can't stand the sight of how you look in the mirror. You're thinking about, oh man, I used to have abs, man, I used to be cut, man, I'm fat now, I got a diet. That might be after 4 months if you really bulking hard, you know what I mean? But when you're lean bulking, you're taking it nice and slow, you're throwing in cheat meals here and there, but you're most of the time sticking to a diet. That way, what happens? You can bulk longer. And what I talked about, that threshold earlier, yeah, sure, you might not meet that maximum threshold, and you might be just below it, or maybe, you know, significantly lower. But guess what? Over time, you're gonna make up that difference because you're gonna be able to bulk longer, okay? Because if you bulk super long on a dirty bulk, going way over, you're just gonna become obese. That's just what's gonna happen, and then you're truly gonna be screwed. With a lean bulk, you can go ahead and you might not reach that threshold, but you can go over a longer span of time. I'd rather bulk for a longer span of time. I don't know about you guys. Let's go to pro number 2. It's going to make dieting easier. Just like dirty bulking makes dieting harder, lean bulking makes dieting easier. You know why? Because you don't have to really change much in your discipline. Your discipline is still there because you still have a certain amount of food, you know, barring, I mean, it is more food, you know, so that's always good. Whenever you're bulking, I want to eat more food, but it's still an amount. So if you have 400 grams of carbs, you're not going to go over that. In a dirty bulk, I guarantee you, if you're eating whatever you want, you're going to go over 400 grams of carbs very easily unless you don't have an appetite. Me, I eat 1,000 grams of carbs in a day if I wanted to, but what would happen? I would turn back into the little fat boy you guys recently saw on Instagram. All right, so that's another thing. It really tests your discipline, and your discipline is not gonna be as good. I'm gonna let you know that right now. Pro number 3 of a lean bulk, Pro number 3, guys, is you're gonna be able to maintain a good physique. When you're lean bulking, because you're not putting on that extra fat, a lot of people actually love doing this and feel good about themselves because you can still look in the mirror and still have abs, okay? I'm gonna actually go ahead right now. I should have done this earlier, but it's fine. It's my video. I do things in the order I want to do them. I actually did do a lean bulk a couple bulks ago. This last one was pretty lean, but I think it got out of hand at the end. I'll show you guys a quick picture right here of me when I was done cutting, and then on the other side I'll show you a picture when I was done bulking again. And you can see I'm not defined, I'm not cut up, but you can still see abs, you can still see definition, and I'm pretty much still looking better than, I would say, 90 to 95% of the people you see in your local gym, right? And that's because I was watching what I was eating. I wasn't overindulging. I was eating a lot of good whole foods and still watching my macros. Some days I won't even count macros, I'll just eat smart. And this is even when part of the time when I actually had the surgery, when I had my oh my god, I'm so stupid. My appendectomy, and I had my appendix removed. I couldn't work out for 2 weeks. I was still eating smart. I didn't just go out and just eat whatever I wanted. Okay, so you're gonna maintain a much better physique, and for some people that mentally just helps them bulk longer. You know, it helps you. You can throw in your little cheat meals here. So that's always, if you're into fitness, it's because you want to look good somewhat, and by lean bulking, trust and believe me, you're going to be able to maintain a pretty good physique. Now the cons. Yes, there might not be a whole bunch of cons to lean bulking, you might think, but there are some. One, I'm gonna have to go ahead and say you're not gonna build as much muscle. you're probably gonna leave a little bit on the table, but it's like this. Do you wanna leave a little bit of muscle on the table but maintain a really good physique and make a little bit of gains? Or do you wanna just go all out and end up dieting super hard and maybe you diet off some of those extra gains that you made from that dirty bulk? Think about it like that. Con number 2 of a lean bulk is the fact that it can be a little harder on your lifestyle just because you still have to count things. But my argument to that is always, you can always just incorporate a cheat meal or use one of my methods. I would put today's macros that I ate for dinner, that cheat meal or whatever, I'll try and find something healthy. What I'll do is I'll put that into tomorrow's macros, right? And I'll keep my macros for today the same, with the same foods I was gonna eat. And tomorrow what I'll do is I'll fit all my food around what I'm gonna eat for dinner, and I'll just swap the meals out. Instead of having that dinner, I swapped that out for yesterday, and yesterday's dinner I have tomorrow. If I lost you anywhere like that, comment below and I'll make a video telling you about it. I'll also link you to a video where I do have over here pretty much like a recovery method if you do have to go over your macros. So those are some pros and cons of both lean bulking and dirty bulking. Now, what is my opinion? What do I like to do? I've done both, and I'm gonna have to go with the lean bulk, man. Dirty bulking is way more fun. You get to eat whatever you want, but at the end of the day, it's not about just eating whatever you want. It's about, this is a lifestyle. It's about being healthy. So you don't always have to be diced and shredded and veins popping out, but you don't want to go from that to being fat. You know, it's one thing to go from that and then put on a little fat. Yeah, the veins might not be there, but you still have a good solid physique that just looking like you don't even lift anymore. You know, you don't want to ever do that. In my experience, I've done it enough times to where I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm probably gonna lean bulk the rest of my life. I don't think I'm gonna dirty bulk ever again. It's just too much dieting that has to be done. I really don't want to cross over the 220-pound threshold ever again, unless it's muscle, unless I just gain a whole bunch of muscle, which at this point I've been training almost 5 years. I don't think I'm gonna gain significantly a lot of muscle like that, but that's just my my quick take, guys. If you guys prefer lean bulking or dirty bulking, go ahead and comment below what you prefer and maybe make an argument out of it. Why maybe lean bulking is better? Why is dirty bulking better? I like to hear. I like to debate. I'm sure the people down in the comment section will like to debate. So let's debate. What does Jerry Ward say? But don't fight. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys checking in for another video. Expect another one coming out this Friday. It's either going to be the diet video or it's going to be the no cuts, no glory, depending on what came in second place. Don't forget the orders. Subscribe and share. Like and comment. Till next time, my devil dogs. Dismissed.